In this gripping tale, we follow the story of a young woman named Anna who longs for adventure and excitement. She finds it when she takes a job as a caretaker for an old mansion on the outskirts of her village. But as strange occurrences begin to happen, Anna must face her fears and confront the malevolent entity that haunts the mansion. Will she be able to escape its grasp, or will she become another victim of its wrath? Join us as we unravel the mystery of Anna's disappearance in this bone-chilling tale. Once upon a time, in a remote village, there lived a young woman named Anna. She was beautiful, kind-hearted, and had a smile that could light up a room. She lived with her parents and brother, but she always felt like something was missing in her life. She longed for adventure and excitement, and that is exactly what she got when she decided to take a job as a caretaker for an old mansion on the outskirts of the village. The mansion was owned by a wealthy family, but they had not visited the property in years, and it had fallen into a state of disrepair. The family needed someone to take care of the property, and Anna was the perfect fit. She moved into the mansion, excited about the prospect of living in a grand house with a sprawling garden. But soon after Anna arrived, strange things began to happen. At first, it was just little things, like doors creaking open on their own, or the sound of footsteps echoing through the halls when there was no one there. But as time went on, the incidents became more frequent and more disturbing. Anna tried to ignore the strange happenings, telling herself that it was just her imagination playing tricks on her. But as the weeks went on, the occurrences became impossible to ignore. Objects would move on their own, strange shadows would appear on the walls, and Anna could hear whispering voices coming from empty rooms. Despite the increasing level of fear, Anna refused to leave. She had grown attached to the mansion, and she was determined to see her job through to the end. But the more she tried to ignore the strange happenings, the worse they became. One night, as Anna was lying in bed, she heard the sound of footsteps approaching her room. She sat up in bed, her heart racing with fear, and waited for the footsteps to stop outside her door. But when she looked towards the door, she saw a shadowy figure standing there. It was too dark to make out any features, but she could sense that it was malevolent. Anna tried to scream, but no sound would come out. She tried to move, but her body was frozen with fear. The shadowy figure stepped into her room, and as it drew closer, Anna could see that it was a man. His skin was pale and gaunt, his eyes sunken, and his clothes were tattered and torn. The man reached out his hand towards Anna, and she could feel a coldness radiating from him. She tried to resist, but she was powerless against his strength. The man whispered something in her ear, but she could not make out what he was saying. The next thing Anna knew, she was lying on the floor, her body racked with pain. She tried to stand up, but her legs would not support her weight. She looked down and saw that her legs were covered in deep scratches and cuts. Anna tried to scream, but her voice was hoarse and weak. She crawled to the door and tried to open it, but it would not budge. She was trapped in the room, alone with the malevolent entity. Days passed, and Anna remained trapped in the room. She could hear strange noises coming from outside the door, and she could sense that the malevolent entity was still there, waiting for her. Eventually, Anna's family became worried about her. They had not heard from her in weeks, and they decided to go to the mansion to check on her. When they arrived, they found the mansion abandoned, and there was no sign of Anna. They searched the entire property, but they could not find any trace of her. It was as if she had vanished into thin air. The only clue they found was a diary that Anna had been keeping.